Greetings everybody and welcome to another video. Slightly different video today. Today I'm going to be recounting a visit to the photography show. Now, for those of you who don't know, the photography show is an annual event here in the UK. It normally takes place in Birmingham in the middle of England. This year was slightly different in that it took place in London. The main draw for me this year was the opportunity to visit Sigma and go and have a play with their latest creation, the Sigma BF. Now, I have made no secret on my channel of the fact that I am a Sigma user. I use a Sigma FPL. I use Sigma lenses. I love what Sigma do. Their kit is, for me anyway, of perfect form and perfect function in the landscape. However, the BF definitely caught my eye when I saw all the launch footage. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this is the Sigma BF. Finally got hands-on with the Sigma BF on the Sigma stand. What did I think? Well, I was actually quite surprised how solid and heavy and chunky the camera was. According to the specs, it's 388 grams. It felt heavier. On the launch footage, it sort of looked more lightweight. It looked more like a toy. This camera is not a toy. In no way, shape or form is it a toy. It's very solidly built, very chunky. You really do feel as if you are handling something very substantial. I will admit I tried to dive straight into the functions to actually start changing things, and I did get lost quite quickly, which is an observation that I heard from a lot of the initial reviewers. But that's fine. I think the way that this camera has been designed, it's a stripped down, basic functionality approach is going to mean that the menu system and the way in which you select the functions is going to be very different. And like any other camera, it's just something to get used to. The one thing I would say though is that navigating the functions was beautifully clear and absolutely lovely. The LCD screen that's on the back of this camera is absolutely beautiful, really crisp, really sharp, really bright, yeah, I can quite clearly see why people like the screen on this camera so much. The little LCD panel that's above the selection wheel, that's a really, really nice touch. Simply because once I'd been told how to select what I wanted to select, I could then change it very, very simply just by referring to that tiny little LCD panel, whilst the whole of the viewfinder screen remains completely open and clear with no distractions. For me, the LCD is a framing device, not necessarily a device to do anything else. And if I have a frustration with the FPL, it's that there is not a display function where I can see the entire screen with no information on it. This camera, absolutely you can. Now, the chap that I was speaking to from Sigma at the time did make the point that this camera, the Sigma BF, is not an FPL replacement, which I was a little bit surprised by, but it did, and it has subsequently made me think maybe a little bit harder about why I would choose to have a BF in the first place. Handling was better than I expected. I've already hinted at that. The textured panel on the side was very, very easy to hold. I didn't feel at any point in time that the camera was going to fly out of my hands. I also noted that if you hold the camera like how we were originally taught to hold a camera, which is, you know, one hand on the side of the body and the other hand under the lens, then in actual fact the handling was very, very smooth, very, very straightforward, and very, very steady. Sam, the chap that I was speaking to from Sigma at the time, did mention that the way in which the corners of the camera had actually been smoothed with no sharp edges, specifically to take account of how a camera should actually be picked up and used. That said, certainly with a little prime lens on the front, picking up the camera and using it one-handed was no problem at all. I've spoken about the functions, but Sam demonstrated some of these functions, and for such a small camera with such little buttons and you know, ways in which to select these functions, there is bags and bags of stuff inside this camera in terms of technology and features, yeah, you're certainly not going to be short of any options. Would I go silver or would I go black? Well, going to the show did give me the opportunity to see and handle both. And I did actually ask Sam to swap over the silver and black lens onto the black and silver bodies, just so I could see the difference. The reason for that is that all of my Sigma lenses are black. And if I was to purchase a BF, I want to make the right color choice. Right now, my heart says silver, but my head says black. By the time I'd been through all of that, there was a huge queue of people behind me waiting to take their turn to play with this camera. I've never seen such interest in a camera ever before. In fact, I had to wait to take my own turn. There was another chap in front of me having a play, and every time I walked past the Sigma stand, there were, you know, at least several people waiting to see and take a turn to have a play with this camera. Such is the interest that Sigma has generated. I would like to take a moment to thank Sam from Sigma for giving me so much of his time. Sam, I'm very grateful to you and thank you very much. Key question: will I go and buy one of these cameras? Right now, I don't know. I think so. I am hoping to get the opportunity to borrow one for a short while, which might take a number of weeks to come through, but I am hoping I will get that opportunity, and then I can actually take it out and have a little bit more of an in-depth play. What Sam said to me about the BF not being an FPL replacement did make me think, well, okay then, so why would I be purchasing this camera in the first place? There is a bit of me that can see me at popular landscape locations here in the UK and having people going, what on earth is that on your tripod? I quite like the idea of that. I quite like the fact that Sigma have been bold, have been different, and yeah, my heart wants a piece of that action. But is it really the right thing for me to do? I don't know. I've not made my mind up, but whether I do, that will be a subject for another video. So thank you very much indeed for watching. Please tell me what you think in the comments below. And yes, if you've liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Very, very gratefully appreciated. If I do get my hands on one of these cameras for a demo, then I'll be sure to do some more videos and let you know. Until that time, everybody, take care, stay safe, and look after each other. Bye for now.